Why did I do this? I literally was up to 3:30 in the morning last night compiling a list, pen to paper. Why did I do this? I could have stopped at top 20. I could have stopped at, hell, top 10. I could have, but no, 150 of my favorite cartoons. 150. I didn't even realize I've watched this many cartoons. I like cartoons, apparently. Let's just get to it.
Hey, this is Brandon, and I have a pretty weird life. I mean, I'm a dad, I have a demanding cat, and I own ASY TV, a streaming television network that puts me on a never-ending road filming awesome people in awesome places all over the nation. So I'm inviting you to come along for the ride and see what it takes to run ASY TV. And I'm doing the van life thing while having fun, amazing, tasty, and weird adventures. Are you ready? It's the ASY TV life.
Okay, when I am not on the road and I'm here at the ASY TV studios / my place, I have to, every Monday and Friday, I told you, every Monday and Friday, I have to put out a video. And I know thousands and thousands of people are not watching it, and that's fine, but it's nice and therapeutic to have a routine like this. And eventually, you're gonna tell all of your friends. Anyways, I love cartoons. To this day, I am 48 years old at this point, and I watch cartoons mostly. I mean, a lot of them have turned to adult cartoons. A lot of them are not, you know, the innocent little vibrant colored, fun, goofy things that we used to watch as a kid. But obviously, I have 150 entries on this list. And we're going to do 3 videos. We're going to do 50 at a time. And I'm going to do my best to get through this as quickly and painlessly as possible. I'm going to mention a lot of cartoons that you may have absolutely forgot about. And then I'm going to invoke passion. I'm going to downright piss a lot of people off with my choices, because I know a lot of you are just hardcore about some of these cartoons, and that should be number 1. That should be in the top 10. What do you mean that's a number 136 or whatever it is? Trust me, you're gonna get pissed off, because a lot of your favorite cartoons mean nothing to me, okay? And a lot of my favorite cartoons will probably mean nothing to you. And it's fine. That's what the comment section is for. I'm trying to incite a riot here. Okay, number 150. Go, Go, Gophers. I remember the name. I remember the name, and I remember watching it, and I do remember it, but not very well. And trust me, I went through a list of like 300 or 400 cartoons. There's been a lot of cartoons in television history, and these are not movies as well, okay? So when I saw Go Go Gophers, I was like, I know that, and then I looked at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Go Go Gophers, but I don't remember Go Go Gophers. So 150, and I gotta get through these faster. 149. Rainbow Brite. Yes, I watched Rainbow Brite, and the little twinkles, what are they, the little furry guys? I actually had a couple of those little stuffed twinkle guys, whatever the hell they're called. I had a couple of those. Was it my favorite cartoon? No, because I'm a boy, and it wasn't aimed at me, but damn it, I watched it. 148. It's a newer one. Mama Named Me Sheriff. Actually pretty funny, but I think I've only watched a couple episodes of it, probably through my son, who's introduced me to a lot of these cartoons. So yeah, Mama Named Me Sheriff, 148. 147. In the 80s, you may remember this, and it wasn't good, but I watched it because we didn't have a whole lot of things to watch back then, so you watched whatever they gave you. You ate whatever they served you. And Mask, M-A-S-K, I forget what it stands for, but it stands for something, and it's number 147 on my list. Number 146 is one I really liked as a kid. Jabberjaw, this big wisecracking shark, and I do remember it quite a bit. And I don't know if this is the one. I thought there was another shark cartoon that I watched, but I could not find another shark cartoon. But I remember watching this one for sure. So number 146 is Jabberjaw. 145, you may not remember this one at all, but I do. Tales from the Crypt Keeper. It was a cartoon based on Tales from the Crypt, the TV show I think was on HBO. That was like a horror movie show. And then they made like a kid-friendly Tales of the Crypt Keeper cartoon off of that. And a lot of the things on this list have been derived from actual TV shows or movies. And I always kind of liked those for some reason. And this is probably the least one that I liked. But 145, Tales from the Crypt Keeper. 144, The Snorks. Do you remember the Snorks? You definitely remember the Smurfs, and the Smurfs will make an appearance high on this list because I was a huge Smurfs fan. But due to the success of the Smurfs, we got the underwater version, the Snorks, who had a little snorkel come out of their head. I watched it. But even back then, when I was a kid, I knew, this is just a Smurfs knockoff. What are we doing here? So anyways, 144, the Snorks. 143, Dora the Explorer. This could actually be higher on the list. I watched this when my kid was a kid, and I know all the songs. Come on, vamonos, everybody, let's go. On the map, on the map, on the map, on the map. Swiper, no swiping, swiper, no swiping. I literally, this should be way higher on the list. It wasn't something I intentionally watched though, so that's why it's way down at 143. 142, Infinity Train. This is one that my kid brought to me recently, like probably last year. We watched it on one of those streaming services, and they had like corgis and stuff fighting and all this weird stuff, and it was actually kind of fun to watch. It could be higher on the list as well, but I don't care about it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where when you're making a list like this, you really have to, how much am I invested emotionally into this cartoon? And I was not at all. So Infinity Train, 142. 141, Mr. Bean's Animated Adventures. You know who Mr. Bean is, Rowan Atkinson. He's done movies, he's had TV shows, he's a wonderful comic, crazy big eyes. I loved Mr. Bean, and when he had a cartoon, I definitely watched it. I couldn't remember one scene of it. I do remember how it looked, but I couldn't remember hardly anything. But I know that I watched it, and I know that I liked it. 140, The Critic. Do you remember The Critic? It wasn't bad, and I remember I watched probably every episode that came out just because we were desperate for entertainment. And I think this is in the 90s at some point. But The Critic was, it wasn't bad. I just, again, you watched it because you had to, and then you didn't. And then you forget about it until you make a list like this. So The Critic is 140. 139. Now this one, when I was a kid, I recall I had a lot of the books because my mom collected elephants. It's called Babar. Do you remember Babar? Babar was this nice elephant. It was like, he had parents and stuff. And when I was a young kid, I remember the cartoons, and I remember loving the cartoons. It was probably one of my favorite things when I was a kid, was Babar. So this probably could be higher up on the list, but the fact that I completely forgot about it until I made this list, yeah, that's why it's 139, Babar. 138, Count Duckula. It's a Disney thing. It was probably derived on the success of DuckTales. It's just a darker, like, Batman version of DuckTales. Like, I watched it again. It was just something that came on after something else that I enjoyed watching. I didn't really care about it, and that's why it's number 138. 137, and I didn't remember this one until I remembered it by making this list. The FONZ and the Happy Days Gang. Yes, this was a cartoon derived from the Happy Days TV show, which I love the Happy Days TV show. I loved the FONZ when I was growing up. You had to. It was just... You just had to. They made you love the FONZ. But I completely forgot about the cartoon. I know that I watched every single episode of it. I remember how it looked. I remember the feel and the aesthetics of it, but that's all that I remember. That's why the FONZ and the Happy Days Gang is 137. 136, Winnie the Pooh. I watched it when I was a baby, when I was a kid. And that's it. What else can you say? Winnie the Pooh, 136. 135, more bears. The Care Bears. I love the Care Bears. I remember watching them alongside my cousins. I remember having some Care Bears. I think I had Grumpy Bear or whatever, like Rain, the one with rain on them. I forgot what, Rainy Day Bear, whatever it is. But they have to be on the list. They're not going to be high on the list because, again, it was one of those things that just came on after something else that you watched, or it was already on before something else that you were waiting to watch. 135, the Care Bears. 134, George of the jungle, strong as he can be. Watch out for that tree. I don't know how long it was on. I don't think it was more than a season. Of course, Brendan Fraser came out with the George of the Jungle movie long afterwards, but I like George of the Jungle. And I'm a little surprised I don't have Dudley Do-Right anywhere on the top 150. So Dudley Do-Right can be on there as well, the Mountie guy. But George of the Jungle was, I did like George of the Jungle. That's why it's on the list, and that's why it's 134. 133, Dr. Katz, with a K, like Katz's Deli. Do you remember Dr. Katz? It was like this jittery animation. It was actually pretty funny. I think it was before its time. At least it was, I was watching it before I could probably fully appreciate it. Again, it was just something that came on and you'd watch it because it was colorful and bright and I was a kid. But Dr. Katz, 133. 132, Total Drama Island. I remember enjoying it, and I don't remember why I would watch it. I don't think I went out of my way to watch it, but it was like a Survivor or something like that, and it's all cartoons. I think it was aimed towards more adults, but Total Drama Island, 132. I didn't hate it, so I saw it on the archives of all the cartoons ever made, and I'm like, I watched that, so... Anyway, that's why it's 132. 131, the Garbage Pail Kids. Now, I have a whole book full of Garbage Pail Kids, but I took them off the backs, the stickers off the backs, because that's what they were. They were little stickers on cards, and I put them in. I don't know why I did that. I could have just put the whole card in the photo album. But no, I took the sticker off, so I ruined them all. And they're all the original ones, okay? These are not like the knockoff ones that came later. These are the original Garbage Pail Kids. And then it came out with a really bad movie. And I was like, oh, okay. No. And then they came out with the cartoon, which was equally as just non-impressive. So it's got to be on the list because I probably watched every episode. But 131. That's not bad for you Garbage Pail Kids. Out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cartoons that have existed throughout the history of television, you're number 131. That's not bad, okay? So don't feel bad about yourself. 130. This is where I'm going to start pissing people off, because I know a lot of people are passionate about these Adult Swim cartoons and they should be higher. Harvey Birdman, 130. Out of 150. I watched a few episodes and sure it had its moments, but I didn't care. It's nothing that I'd ever watch again unless I'm forced to. So Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, I think it was called. Cool concept. It's a bird who's a lawyer. It's just whatever. Harvey Birdman, 130. 129, I did like this commercial cartoon quite a bit. I just didn't get too invested in it. There's certain things that you'll watch and you'll be like, yeah, I could watch this, but then you don't. Home Movies is number 129. It was funny. It was a funny movie, a funny cartoon, but it was just, again, I didn't fall in love with it, but I'd go on another date with it, if that makes any sense. 128, the Lego Star Wars series. It was goofy, it was funny. I think it came out during the prequels of Star Wars. So like, you know, Phantom Menace years in the 90s. It just wasn't, you know, it was fun. It was cool I like the Lego stuff. The Lego movies are great, but I'm a big Lego fan and I'm a big Star Wars fan, but when you put them together and make a show, I was just like, yeah, I watched it, 128. I think that's pretty good. Oh, and the next two are just gonna really, really piss you off. Are you ready for this one? You're gonna hate your friend Brandon. We're not gonna be friends anymore. You're gonna you might even turn this whole thing off. And I don't blame you. I'm already 17 and a half minutes into this thing, and we're halfway through the list, so I'm gonna speed it up, trust me. But on this one, these next two are gonna piss you off. Out of 150, my rank for number 127, Samurai Jack. Go ahead, let me have it, go ahead. Get in the comment section. First, subscribe to the channel, like the video, because that's what we're supposed to say. Do that before you go to the comment section. Because I know you're going there right now and you're just like, Samurai Jack should be number one. And I looked at other people's lists and it was number one on several different lists. I'm not into it, okay? There's no anime whatsoever on my list. If you want to do a top 150 anime cartoons, do it your damn self, because I don't care about anime. I've never watched anime, not even Pokemon, okay? I don't care about anime. I'm not even saying Samurai Jack is anime, but it comes across that way to me. I'm not a fan. I watched a couple episodes and I'm just like looking at it going, okay, what's the fuss? So that's why, no matter what you say, make your own damn list. You got a phone, just point it at your face and put it on YouTube and make your own list. You'll probably get more freaking views than I do. But 127 is Samurai Jack. At least it made the list. I was debating whether to put it at 150, okay? Because I don't care about it. 126 is gonna equally piss off a lot of people, different people, older people. Thundercats, number 126. Yes, I watched Thundercats, but it came off to me like a He-Man, G.I. Joe knockoff. It was one of those things where I didn't have, I mean, sure, I was a kid, I had plenty of time, but I didn't want to spend all day in front of the cartoons, and I had those other cartoons that I really, really liked, and Thundercats was just kind of there, and I remember the Thundercats, yo, and I'm like, I didn't care, okay? Am I allowed not to care about a cartoon? Look, I'm giving you 150 of them. A lot of them are going to bring back memories. I'm giving you moments here. You're going to look them up and go, oh, wow, I wonder if that's on YouTube. Yes, it is, probably. Didn't like Thundercats, okay? So number cats is 126. Thundercats is 126. What are you going to do about it? Samurai Jack fans and Thundercats fans, if you want to fight, go fight each other. Debate who's got the better cartoon. I don't care. No time to fight you people. 125, okay? I'm gonna hit the gas pedal. Alf. We all watched Alf, the TV show. Alf also had a cartoon. It was okay. Simple as that. I liked Alf. I didn't like the fact that he ate cats. It's a little weird to me, but yeah, Alf had a cartoon. It's 125. 124, The Adventures of Mr. Magoo. Or is it The Misadventures of Mr. Magoo? I like Mr. Magoo. He was basically just this drunk. He was a drunk. I think he was based off of W.C. Fields or something like that. But this big red nose and just, I liked him. He was way bigger back when I was a kid. Everybody who knew who Mr. Magoo was. And but I still remember him, so 124. 123, this one's off a movie, Rambo. Rambo had a cartoon. The viciously bloody, violent Rambo movies spawned a much less violent cartoon. I watched it because it was Rambo. It wasn't good. It was bad. So, but it's still got to be on the list because I did religiously watch it until it was no longer a thing. Number 122, Quick Draw McGraw. I'm pretty sure this is a Hanna-Barbera one, and I watched anything that had the words Hanna-Barbera with the big swirly logo in the beginning. Bling, Hanna-Barbera. So Quick Draw McGraw, 122. 121, another movie. RoboCop had a cartoon. Yes, it did. Look it up. Again, I watched it because it was RoboCop, and I would love the movies, but the cartoon was... It was what it was. Simple as that. 121, RoboCop. 120, we're going Disney, Goof Troop. I've always been, out of all the characters, Goofy was my favorite. He just was. I like Goofy and I like Donald Duck, probably second. Mickey was a little pretentious to me. Like on the recent Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, whatever it is, he's like, let's do the Mickey Mouse dance. I'm like, and Goofy's back there going, I don't want to do the Mickey Mouse dance. I'm going to do my own little dance back here. And if you watch the intro to that, everyone else is doing the Mickey Mouse dance. And then Goofy's in the back doing his own damn thing. And that is why I respect Goofy. And I had to put his show, even though I barely watched it, Goof Troop, at 120 out of 150 of my favorite cartoons. 119, sticking with Disney, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. I watched it. I was never excited about watching it. It was just something to do to pass the time. But I watched it. I was more of a Tailspin fan, which was kind of like right after that, I think. And we'll talk about Tailspin a little bit later. 118, Flintstones Kids, not the vitamin. The Flintstones Kids had, it was focused on Bam Bam and Pebbles, basically. I was a huge Flintstones fan, so all things Flintstone, you just have to absorb it all. You had to take it in. I was not a huge fan of this. I don't think it lasted very long, but I did watch it faithfully, absolutely. So 118 is Flintstones Kids. 117, GoBots. I'm a Transformers guy through and through, but you have to admit that GoBots came first. The toys were god-awful compared to Transformers. Simpler, but just awful. And the cartoon was pretty much the same. I remember Leader 1 and Psykill were the main good guy and the main bad guy. I don't remember anything else, to be completely honest with you. Number 117 is GoBots. Another movie at 116, The Karate Kid had a cartoon. I remember it was cool. It was cool. I remember watching just about every episode that I could find. It wasn't, TV back in the 80s wasn't like it is now. Okay, I don't want to go on a sidebar and waste a bunch of time here, but it was completely different. You couldn't go on Netflix and watch a whole series. You couldn't go on Amazon Prime and buy the whole series if it's not free on there. You couldn't go to ASY TV and just watch whatever you want. No, you had to wait. It's 11 a.m. on a Sunday. Karate Kid's on. Cool. What's after that? Then you had like 10 cartoons in a row. And then in the afternoon, it would pick up again. And they gave you like a lunch break. But Karate Kid was just one of those things where it's the Karate Kid. So of course I'm going to watch it. And that's why it's 116. 115, old school, Felix the Cat. I don't know why. I just like the way he looked. I think most of the ones that I remember were in black and white. And it's just a really old cartoon, and I really dug me some Felix the Cat back in the day. I think I had toys with Felix the Cat on it. So he's 115. 114, Freakazoid. I watched Freakazoid. I think it was a Warner Brothers release. I watched it going, okay, is this one of those things where it's like, okay, what are you giving us? Freakazoid? Okay, it was like on after Animaniacs or something like that. Like, yeah, okay, we'll watch it. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember I watched, it was just on. It was on after something I was watching, so. Okay, number 114 is Freakazoid. 113, The Amazing World of Gumball. This is a newer one. I think it's on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, one of those. I could be wrong, I'm sorry if I am. The Amazing World of Gumball, number 113. I catch it because my kid was watching it. Simple as that. It wasn't bad. It was better than anything else on the list so far. And yeah, 113. 112, SUPERJAIL. Do you remember SUPERJAIL? I might still be on Adult Swim. It was just chaos. Just, there's a warden, there was prisoners. It was violent, it was gross, and it was just straight up, just a whirlwind of chaos. And I dug it at the time. I think when it first came out, I watched it every week. So it has to be on the list. 112 is SUPERJAIL. 111, another movie. The animated version of Clerks. I love Clerks. I love the first one the most. I even like the second one that nobody likes. I'm looking very forward to the third one. I've gotten to meet a lot of the cast members. Brian O'Halloran and Jay. I forgot his real name. Jason Mewes. The cartoon was actually pretty funny. It was. It wasn't as good as the movies, of course. They never are. But it was just fun. So it definitely has to be in the list at 111, Clerks. 110, speaking of violence and just gratuitous death and destruction, Mr. Pickles on Adult Swim. This could never have been made in the 80s or 90s. It's just, it's a dog, Mr. Pickles, that just eats people, kills people, and gets away with it. And there's a kid who loves him, Mr. Pickles, and watch it if you have a very strong stomach. It's a cartoon, it's not real blood, and you can get away with anything these days if it's animated, but it's crazy. It's just crazy. So Mr. Pickles is 110. 109, gonna piss you off again. The Tick. Oh, everyone loves The Tick. It's so trendy to say The Tick is amazing. I love The Tick. Oh, look at him. He's blue and he's a tick. I didn't like it. I watched it. I didn't like the actual Tick TV show either, but the cartoon, maybe I did like it. I remember waiting for it to come on. I remember going, oh, cool, I have a new thing. It's The Tick. But looking back, it's definitely 109 worthy. So 109 is The Tick. 108, the original Ghostbusters. I think it was called Hey Look, It's the Ghostbusters or something like that. Or Hey, I can't remember the exact title. It's probably right here over my shoulder. Maybe not. I don't know. But it wasn't the Ghostbusters that you know. It was the original Ghostbusters. The one that was a show in England where they had the talking car and they had, I think they had a gorilla. It was okay. I watched it. They roped me in with the name Ghostbusters, and then you look at it and go, that's not the Ghostbusters. And then you watch it anyway, and it's okay. Simple as that. It was just okay. And the original Ghostbusters was 108. 107, Louie Anderson, who just passed away earlier this year, had his own cartoon called Life with Louie. And it was good. It was actually really kind of funny. It was Louie Anderson as a kid, little fat kid in school and just doing stuff. And I couldn't remember one line of the entire cartoon, but I remember I watched it because I was a Louie Anderson fan. He was in Coming to America. His stand-up comedy was great. He was in other things. So Life with Louie is 107. 106, SEALAB 2021, which is funny because we're actually in 2022 now. I remember watching it one time and it was a really dirty adult cartoon on Adult Swim. And then I watched it a few more times and it wasn't. It was like a normal, just weird undersea cartoon. I don't know what to think of it. I remember watching it a couple times, laughing my ass off, going, this is great, I got a new cartoon. And then I watched it again and it just wasn't that good. So that's why it's on the list, and that's why it's at 106 out of 150. SEALAB 2021. 105, the Squidbillies. The Squidbillies is one that I watched a lot, probably after Aqua Teen Hunger Force or something, and I really tried to like it. I was like, this is funny, right? I like the squid with that different hats, and I was like, okay, this is funny, right? And I'm just trying to commit to Squidbillies. I never could. I got bored with it. I don't even know if it's still going. I know it's probably still on Adult Swim streaming channel or something like that. You can find it. Maybe it's even here on YouTube. But Squidbillies is 105. 104, more Adult Swim, The Venture Brothers. Remember the Adventure Brothers? Not Adventure Brothers, The Venture Brothers. It got weird. I remember the first couple seasons were good, and I enjoyed it. I couldn't remember anybody's name on there. I remember what they looked like, but I remember watching it, and then it just got weird. Like, people were just too many in and too many out, and people were missing, and I just didn't care anymore. So you had me, and then you lost me, Venture Brothers, and that's why you are 104. 103 is gonna piss people off, and I'm looking forward to it. Get in the comment sections. 103, Archer. It's the same voice as the guy from Bob's Burgers and a multitude of other things on Family Guy and characters. Archer never connected with me. I heard wonderful things. I tried to watch it. I got bored. Simple as that. It bored me, but I did watch it a lot. And it's only this high on the list out of respect for you Archer fans out there, because I know I don't want this to turn violent. I don't want people knocking on my door, following me around the supermarket, you know, tracking me down when I'm on the road. I don't need that in my life. I just don't need that. So that's why it's all the way up to 103. Got it? Okay. 103 is Archer. 102, forget about it. It's this Netflix thing. I watched it. It was good. It hasn't been around long enough for me to fully commit to it, and I don't think about it. If I'm scrolling and I see it, is there new episodes? No. It's not like, you know, Rick and Morty or something. Well, I'll watch every season 100 times, and I still do. It's just forget about it. It's kind of, you know, kind of a good name for it. Forget about it. 102. And the last one, oh God, I can hear the backlash now. I'm gonna get canceled for this. Oh. And that's good, because whenever people get canceled these days, it's like a big thing. It's like, it'll blow our numbers up. I can't wait. Number 101, the Boondocks. Never connected to it. Was it funny? I guess. Like the old man. I just didn't care. Sorry. Am I allowed not to care about a cartoon? Yes, I am. I don't like the Boondocks. I liked them, like the first season, I watched every episode. I think that first season I would tell other people, hey, you gotta watch Boondocks, it's great. After that, I just fell out of love with it. I don't, is it even still a thing? I don't care about the Boondocks, and I'm allowed to not care. Just like I don't care about the comments that you're probably typing in right now feverishly. What do you mean the Boondocks? It was groundbreaking and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's your opinion. Make your own damn list. Like I made my list. And you know what? This is just part one. That was it for part one. That was number 50 through 101. The next video that you watch is going to be in a couple days, and it'll be numbers 100 through... Am I doing this right? Yeah, 100 through 51. So yeah, why am I doing this? Tell me what you think about the list. Tell me what your choices were for your top 10 cartoons. Yeah, there you go. We'll keep it simple on your end. Top 10. Like this video if you like the video. Hit the notification bell to find out when we do normal, like ASY TV live videos. And I gotta go. Bye.